I'm finished with level 17 questing and ready to take 18. Level 17 was a very short level. All I did was run the level 13s on Reaper and Elite, except for Memoirs of an Illusory Larcener, because that quest has some AI issues with hirelings. That's a known issue. So I'm going to save that for probably level 20 or 21 and run it on Elite. So I'm going to go ahead and level up. This is a pretty impactful level. I'm going to take put two ranks to disable, 2 to search, and 2 to spot. So pretty standard there. I've been doing that every level since I did my lesser reincarnation. We get a feat. So the main choices here would be Quicken. That's probably like the main choice that I would have. I could take Least Dragon Mark of Passage. That would give me Dimension Door. Very, very useful, potentially, especially in epic levels. But I think I'm going to save this for 24. Alternatively, I could take this and save Quicken for 24. But I think I'm going to probably want Quicken at epic levels because typically your spells get disrupted more at epic levels. And I'm going to have the big thing is I'm going to have reincarnation. Uh, uh, the reincarnation spell is a level 3 spell, and so I want to be able to cast that without disruption at epic levels. So for that reason, I think I'm going to take Quicken first, and then I'll probably take Least Dragon Mark of Passage at 24. All right, so let me take that. And as far as healing, once I get it, it's going to take a while to get it, but once I get Rejuvenation Cocoon, that spell isn't really impacted by Quicken. You never fail on that spell, so it's not really needed. For my own Cure Serious, Cure Moderate, it's helpful there. And then the big thing is going to be for the, I'm sorry, not Reincarnation, Resurrection spell, because that spell is a little slower, and Quicken will make a bigger difference there. So I'll get that at level 20. All right, so that's it. So in terms of enhancements for the level up, I want to take the healing amp, improve my healing a little more, and that's going to be it for the human tree. So the idea is to spend 40 points here, and then 19 here and 21 here. So the reason, I guess the key thing is that lets me take this uh, redemption, which gives me the resurrection spell at level 3, and that'll be very helpful. It gives me 5 PRR and MRR as well, which is super useful, but that resurrection is the key so that I can use a quickened resurrection spell, both to get the hireling up. You can see that's been a challenge, right, without having to swap to scrolls, and then also when we run end game level 30 Reapers, as party members go down, I want to be as useful as possible, and one way I could be useful is by bringing those folks back up as quick as possible. So that leaves me with 3 points because I had only spent 1 point before. And so, if I look at what to take, I mean, the stats are certainly useful. I'm only going to be able to take 1 stat point. I could take strength. I could take con or charisma here. Tough choice. This isn't so useful for me now. It gives me temporary hit points equal to my charisma score and 200% threat generation. Might help get things off the hireling, but my charisma is only it will go higher obviously, but right now it's at 22, so 22 hit points is really nothing at this level. So I'll take it as a prerequisite for this, but it's not really getting me anything now. Defense boost is something I've kind of been eyeing. It gives me a 15 boost to PRR and MRR for 20 seconds, and I'm mainly thinking of uh, Reapers, right? So when a Reaper comes, I can quickly get up to speed. So I think I'm going to try that and see how it works. The other options I have is 6 PRR, but then melee threat. I'm not sure if I want that. 6 PRR is pretty small. I mean, it's something, but it's pretty small. I'd rather have the boost when I really need it against Reapers. Uh, the defense wear, I mean, this potentially I could always reset if I'm finding that's an issue. I found that to be an issue when I was around level 10 wearing level 4 armor, but not since then. Less damage when helpless is certainly important, right? So it doesn't usually help when knocked down. That's been my biggest problem. It does help like if I'm held or stunned, and so this is certainly pretty useful, and I might take that next. But right now I'm gonna debate between this defense boost and this, and I think I'm gonna go for this defense boost. And now let me put that on my hotbar. And so one change I'm going to make to this build next life is I'm going to take the sovereign host, right, as instead of Orion. I mean, Orion was good for the quarterstaff, but I don't use quarterstaff too often. I'm mainly using a greatsword. At lower levels, I was using a quarterstaff, but pretty small benefit. So if I use this, take the sovereign host, then I get unyielding sovereignty, which is something I could use to heal myself even with a plague reaper, and that's been my biggest problem. So I definitely want to use, I definitely want to go with the sovereign host next time. I sort of underestimated the problem I would run into with plague reapers a little bit, um, and so I want to correct that next life by going sovereign host instead of Orion. All right, and that's it. So I've dragged that to my hotbar. So I'm going to pause it while I go to a tavern, and we'll take a look at spells real quick. All right, so at this level, we get one more level 2 spell. And, these pretty short range, plus the caster gains +1 racial bonus to PR and MRR rating per caster level. So that's actually not bad, but it's only for 2 minutes. But again, it might be useful if I see a Plague Reaper up ahead. Owl's Wisdom would give me 4 more wisdom and would help me with my spot. At the moment, I'm not having a problem with spot. So I think I'm going to slot this Angel Skin, and I'm going to stick that here with this defense and not quicken it. And then since we've had quicken, let me drag that. So I have to go to my feats and drag this down here and turn it on just as I did the Empower Healing. Right, so, but now unfortunately what I have to do is all of these spells I want to turn off. If I don't, they're going to be, like you can see, this cost me 25 spell points instead of 15, and I don't really need speed for buffing. So I need to go here and turn my meta magic off. I can keep it on for my greater heroism because this is an SLA. This doesn't cost, or an action boost, it doesn't cost me anything. But for all of my other spells, I want to turn it off. My buff spells. Because I shouldn't be really running these during combat, regularly. Now, if I look at my healing spells, on the other hand, I have sort of a one that's fully meted. This now costs 32, and the unmeted costs 22. But I'm going to turn Quicken off for this one as well. So I'm going to use this mainly for topping off. So it's only 12 versus 32. So it's a lot more efficient. This I'm also going to turn off Quicken here. So this one is 8 instead of 28. And Virtue, this, what is this giving me? 10 plus 2 per caster level, max 20. So it's probably giving me 20. I'm going to turn Quicken off here. Let me see how fast this is. It's pretty fast cast, so I think it's okay. And Angel Skin, I probably need an emergency. I'll probably keep Quicken on there. That's for like sort of an emergency thing. And nothing else here. Prayer, again, I probably want that fast, so I'll probably keep it. But I'll have to watch my spell points. I don't use this very often, Prayer. Let's try it without and see how fast it is. Can't perform in a public area. Well, I'm going to keep it off for now at 20 and just see how it is. And I'll turn it on if I need to. I mean, I've been fine without all these spells on. Cure Light Wounds, we're going to have Quicken off. It's pretty fast cast. Usually what I found is cure moderate and cure light and like never fails. Cure serious, cure critical, those might fail a little more. But I've had pretty good luck with cure light and cure moderates without the meta magic. All right, so that's it. So that's pretty much it for spells. I've got my bar adjusted. Let's see what my heal. You can see how fast that is. 223, 266, 216. My land hands is at 374, 374. Unmeted. At a critical was 374 for an unmeted, 156 for a meted. So this is doing pretty good even without the empowered heal. Let's see what my spell power is right now. Spell power. So my positive is 117. Empower healing is adding 75, so it's adding a pretty big boost. So a lot of people don't worry about empower heal, but right now we need our self healing to be as good as possible. So that the magical training all is helping to make this better. All right, so I'm going to pause it while I head over to the auction house. So at this point, I've kind of given up on updating my gear set until I get to 21. There's a lot of good Keep on the Borderlands gear. And so there's a pair of gloves I want to get that has lesser displacement and ghostly, and that's right from the wilderness. So that should be fairly easy to get. I don't know what the drop rate is off the top of my head, but I know on the heroic version it was pretty easy to get named items. There's also rings for each stat. Uh, they're sort of redundant because they have a stat and then they have profane life force. So not sure if I'm going to use two of those rings, so I might have one ring if I can get a good stat on it. There's a belt that's going to have insightful stat, quality stat, physical sheltering, false life. Uh, some pretty good necklaces. I can get con on the necklace. There's some other things I can get on the necklace. So really, I should be able to get a lot of items from there. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get everything, but I should be able to get quite a few items from there. They also have some great goggles: Spot 18, Search 18, Open Lock 18, Disable 18. Goggles has some key stats on it, so unfortunately there's that. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to get the ring with Strength plus 10 because that's an important stat. The other ring I might have with Charisma plus 10 or Intelligence plus 10, and then there's the Con 10 necklace. So if I could find a cloak with charisma, that would be very helpful, or intelligence at level 20. For belts, I could only pick one thing. It's probably going to either be con or strength. Um, for the stat, they have a belt with each stat. They have some other things, like for example, they have some bracers, which has wisdom plus 10 and also has 304 spell points, which I could definitely use. So there's a lot of things that I want to take a look at there. And so I'm going to open it up now and just take a look at, since this level 18 is going to also be a very fast level for me, I'm going to take a look at all the way up to level 21 because I might find some stuff that's good for my gear set. And specifically cloaks. Wisdom 9 and feather falling, that's pretty good, but wisdom's probably not as key of a stat as charisma is for me. And helmets is another thing that seems to be sort of an open spot. So astute 8, I'd like to get a 9 or a 10 at that level, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. So I'm really going to be picky about the items I get. Nothing really super useful. Gloves and belts I think are all set, so I'll take a look at jewelry. Goggles, I could use to swap goggles potentially, but I just have to be careful. That's 6 is really bad for level 17. I'd really want a minimum of 8 would be the bare minimum, and I'd want something other than a casting stat on it. So yeah, I think the loot's it's getting a little hard to find good loot. So I'm probably gonna just end up trying to go for those named items. Uh, and rings again. If I found a fantastic ring, but they already have some pretty good rings in the Borderlands, it's just a matter of whether I get them or not. Not bad, but probably not radiance is what I'm looking for. And armor is something that they don't really have, so I really want to take a good look at armor. And I think death block's going to remain a priority for me, so I may even have to keep the armor I have if I can't find something better, which at least as of now it looks is the case. There's no death block armors on here. So, not much in the way of gear. Let me take a look at augments from 12 to 20. It's pretty hit or miss. I think one time we saw a bunch of them. Most of them weren't useful to us, but other times we see none like this. And I'm going to take a look at Zephyr, see if there's any good Zephyrs up there. Nope. I guess the other ones sold. There's a few 10,000 ones that we saw last level. Those look like they've sold out, and this one just keeps getting reposted every couple of days. That 10,000 was more than I wanted to spend, but you know, um, I was hoping for around 5,000, but 10,000 I figured I'd just grab it while I could because I'm getting so close to 20. And so that's about it. I've accumulated some thieves tools +5. I'm still using my +4s. I'm saving the +5s for when I really need it. Let's see what's there though for tools on +5. Nothing. They're usually kind of expensive when they're there anyways. Um, and I don't think we're going to do any better on weapons. So I think that's about it. So we've looked at the leveling up, we looked at enhancements, we looked at spells, and we made a few hotbar changes. So I think that's it. We're ready to quest for 18. At level 18, the plan is to run level 14 normals and hard until I cap out, which is about uh, what is it, 180,000? I forget exactly how much experience I need, but once I cap out, then I'm going to take 20 immediately, and then finish the level 14s or 15s wherever I'm at. So I'm basically going to run the 14s normal hard, 15s normal hard, take 20 as soon as I can. And the reason is that I'll be getting 0 experience at level 19 if I cap out 18 or 19, but I'll at least be getting something for 20 and epic experience. I'm not going to really have to worry about constantly uh, getting experience I can't use once I get to epic levels. So I'm going to have a post specifically for epic levels as well once I get there. And one challenge I'm going to face is that I decided to purchase Warforged, and as a result, I don't have enough to buy epic destinies immediately when I hit 20. So what I'm going to need to do is get to about 3,800 favor. I'm currently close to 3,000, and once I get to 3,800 favor, I'll be able to buy epic destinies. If I'm within a day or two of the next sale, I might wait to see if it goes on sale before buying it. But by next Thursday, I think it's pretty safe to say I'm going to buy it, no matter if it's not on sale. I'm going to buy it anyways, even if it goes on sale the next week, because I just want to get moving on epic levels. So that's it for basically level 17 wrap up and taking level 18. I'm going to start the questing shortly.